Good evening and welcome to the Simply Colorful FiberCast. Today's date is September 4th, 2015. My name is Lynn and I'm your host. Welcome to tonight's program. Sorry we're a few minutes late. We actually thought we were broadcasting. And look at who I have here, our wonderful guest, Sarah Kochanowski.
Hi everyone.
How are you?
I'm quite well, thank you. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, I'm so glad to have you. I love what you bring here to show us and are talking about fiber with you. So
fiber is just fantastic.
Oh, wonderful. Well, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, and I see we have the red button, so we are broadcasting.
Ah, okay. So without the red button, we were talking
to ourselves.
We do that pretty often anyway, so that's all right.
Thank goodness for Jean.
Yes, thank you, Jean.
She said we're on now. Hello.
Hi, Jean.
Carol, I was just also checking. Carol, my sister-in-law, Bob's sister, she sent us an email. She says, hope to catch you tonight. She's spending some time with a neighbor who's moving to Florida to avoid the snow.
Ah, smart neighbor.
Mm-hmm. Ah, she said, remember your mother-in-law was a hooker, a rug hooker.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, rug hooker. I do. In fact, Carol, a rug hooker, that is. I have something that your dad dropped off from that was your mom's. So this was Bob's mom's.
How wonderful.
Isn't that fun?
Oh, that's so special.
So I'm going to use some of her worms, Carol.
Oh,
they were up in her attic. Isn't that good?
Look at that. Yeah.
So
and isn't that really what it's all about, is connecting people and connecting generations, and
yes.
I think, for me.
For me too. Yep. I have some wool here that came from my mom, right?
So wonderful.
Isn't
yes,
it?
yes.
It's kind of like flower gardens. Have you ever seen flower gardens that will have pieces of flower from your grandmother?
Sure.
I love that.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
A way to carry on
Yeah.
and remember someone. Yeah. That's awesome.
So, first off, before I want to ask you what you've been up to all summer and what you're working on. I want to invite our viewers, please remember, FiberCast is all about all of us just getting together to work on our projects. It's amazing what we can get done in 60 minutes. So pull out your projects and send pictures, send emails to lmarquidant@gmail.com. I'd love to see them, and I'd love to share them with everyone who's here. So,
what are you working on tonight, Lynn?
well, tonight I'm working on a rug that I started in 2009. It's someone else's design, but I color planned it and dyed the wool. And I'm so close, you know? I've just got a little bit more right up there.
Just doing some background filler.
I am. And then the binding, and then I can just put it, I'm going to put it in front of my, in my kitchen, in front of my sink.
Oh, that will be beautiful there.
I think it will. Of course,
You've done an amazing job with color on this. It's just so well shaded, and
thank you.
The background, and you said you dyed all of the wools that are in here, custom dyed.
Yeah. Yeah, we were big into dyeing. My Aunt Bonnie taught me that.
That is stunning.
Thank you.
In the background, you know, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's not just a flat black. It's a mottled, almost dark navy and green mottled pieces together. It's just beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. You said it was over dyed?
It was. I started out with green.
Okay.
Might have even been that green, maybe. And I over dyed it with just blue. Pro Chem blue.
Yeah.
Don't even think. Have you ever seen the little dye spoons that you use? Don't you love those?
Yes, definitely. They're so cute.
They are cute. But what are you working on?
Well, I am a beginning rug hooker. I've done a couple of small pieces, and this one I started several years ago. It's a little robin, and it will be a pillow when it's done. So like you, I'm fairly close to finishing. I actually had the border on and didn't like the border, so the nice thing about rug hooking is that you just rip it out.
Yeah.
So I took that out and I'm redoing it in green and I'm much happier
Oh, it looks
with the green
yes.
border. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on.
Very nice. Let's try and I bet you could get that done and I'll try and do one whole side.
All right.
All right.
The race is on.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right.
Well, before we get going too much though, you have to talk about your opus behind us, this gorgeous piece.
Well, thank you for asking about it. I started it 10 years ago, 2005. I did take a class on pictorials with Emily Robinson at the Vermont Green Mountain Rug Hooking School.
And where is that?
It was in Randolph, Vermont, at the Vermont Technical College.
Wow.
And what a treat. Have you been to a rug hooking school?
I haven't been to a rug hooking school. I went to the rug hooking show at the Round Barn in Vermont at the Shelburne Museum several years ago with my sister Jean, and that's where I really fell in love with hooking. My mom had done a few small pieces growing up, and so it was familiar to me, but that show was spectacular.
I've never seen that show since they moved it there.
So we went to that show, and then I took a class at the Franklin Mill store.
Oh, yes.
In Franklin, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And just took a beginner class there and got the basics.
Isn't that a nice store?
It's a wonderful store. Wonderful store. Yes.
In fact, wasn't there something you wanted to talk about with them? Do they have a sale?
Yeah, they were having a sale. I'm not sure if it's still on. They were having a 20% off sale.
Okay.
This past weekend, I got some really delicious yarn there.
Ooh. Hold that thought. I can't wait to talk yarn. Ooh. So for anyone out there who's in Massachusetts, Franklin Mill Store.
Franklin Mill Store. Yeah.
And
tell Mary Sarah sent you.
Perfect. Mary runs that with her sister, right?
I think it's just her at this point.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yep. And she does a fabulous job. It has yarn and fabric and both quilting fabric as well as home deck fabric. They have a huge home deck section. And some rug hooking supplies. And yeah, it's a really nice variety. And it's just nice to shop somewhere that's not one of the, big box chain stores. I really like local.
I do too. Yeah, I
Independence.
I do too. And I like how she has a table there. I don't know how often she invites people in. But don't you think that maybe stores, like the stores we like, I think they could really benefit from having a community there. Even if you just could go there and
sit and work in a community with like-minded people.
Right.
Kind of like here.
That's true. That's true. I'm so glad you could come join us. It's been months.
Yes, it has. And I wasn't sure I was going to be able to come. My son is coming home from college today, but he managed to get a ride home. So I was happy about that. Freed me up to come.
That is good.
I got both of my guys home for the holiday weekend. That's nice.
Oh. Are they both in college?
My older son just graduated from Penn College of Technology.
Congratulations.
Thank you. He's doing fabulous. Owen has just got a great job with a firm in Littleton, and he's well on his way.
That's wonderful.
Glenn is in his senior year at Massachusetts Maritime Academy. So
senior already.
Senior already. Last year. Going by in a flash.
You must be so proud.
Yeah,
that's great.
I am. They're both doing really well. Very proud of both of them.
Jean Birchman.
Yes.
A fellow rug hooker and quilter that we always talk about. I can't believe that her oldest daughter has been out of college for a few years also.
Yeah.
And I think I see some texts. Let's see who's out there.
Let's see who's out there.
Oh, Karen Marinelli.
Hi, Karen.
Yay!
Aw.
She says, and Karen Marinelli, also known as my sister.
Also known as AKA.
AKA. Okay, I have last week's trail from her.
Oh,
Did you by any chance hear?
I caught the tail end of last week. I didn't see the first half an hour.
Well, a mouse came. A mouse showed itself.
That's right. That's right.
And Karen has had more animals in her Pennsylvania house.
You were saying that.
It's unbelievable.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, that's not what she's writing about this week. She says, "Hi, Lynn and Sarah. Good to see you both. Wow," she says. "Allie and Peabody are on a beautiful rug."
Yes.
You recognize them, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So for anyone else out there, whenever you hear me talk about my dog, it's the black one, Allie. And so when I did this 10 years ago, she was 2. And Peabody was the older yellow lab, and he was getting up there.
Yeah.
And see how he's hunched over? I can remember him.
Aww.
That's how he would
But
sit.
Allie still has that countenance.
She
Yes.
does.
Yes.
Huh.
She does.
Thank you.
She's so sweet.
We have to finish that. KB says she is working on a patchwork purse.
Oh.
The pattern is from Quilt Smart. Too soon to tell how it will work out. Oh, and she sends us a picture. Oh, excellent.
Oh, I love it.
I do too.
I've used some of their products. I like them.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet people can't see it from here. This is new. But I'm not going to get up. So.
You need that big screen behind you to project your.
I do. And we need the camera from the top.
That's right, the camera from the top. You get your lighting person busy on that.
Oh, I should. He's down in the basement playing music right now.
Oh, poor thing.
Oh.
Another job.
I know. KB, keep us posted. That was
Yeah.
really fun.
What colors are you going to use in that? Is it going to be scrappy, or do you have a color plan?
That would be
curious
fun.
to know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Looks like a cute little bag.
it does. It does. Well, Carrie Creswell.
Well, hey, Miss Carrie.
And speaking of colleges, Carrie's daughter has started at Wentworth Technology
Oh, how fun.
Institute. Isn't that fun?
That
in
is.
Boston.
Wow.
So that's big doings.
That's big doings.
So Carrie says, make sure the mouse doesn't run under Sarah.
Now, it was Chris and, what's her friend's name? Deb?
Yeah.
When we were
yes.
when we were up in
Yes.
at the retreat for Marathon Quilters, and the mouse came in their room. Yep.
That was funny. They
That was
woke us
funny.
up in the middle of the night, didn't
Yeah, they came to my door because they were really afraid of the mouse.
they? Oh, funny.
It had just startled them, and they thought it had gotten into one of their bags, and oh my goodness, poor things were so funny. Yeah, we were teasing them about it.
Well, Carrie says she's watching tonight, and she's working on a Halloween pillow and some of her row by rows.
Nice, you're doing row by row again this year. Wonderful.
She says, keeping busy while Brenna is off at school, her
Mm-hmm.
daughter, and she said she's doing well. Rocky start, though. She lost a friend in an accident the night she moved into school. Oh, no.
Sorry to hear that. That's really tough.
That is very tough, the timing on that.
Yeah, that's hard.
But she's making new friends, and, yep, you know, when you're getting to know a new roommate. It is the most unbelievable social experiment to throw 2 strangers into a room the size of
Yeah.
basically a closet.
And nowhere else in life do you do that.
Never.
But you're just expected to make do. Yep.
I remember.
Yep.
Wow. Well, keep us posted. I know Brenna. She's well equipped. She will do very well.
That's a tough one.
Sorry to hear about the news. And she also says, she goes on, I'm so glad.
Oh, nice.
She says, I love the flowers behind you. Looks like my favorite pansies.
Aw, yes.
Yep. And she says, hi, Miss Sarah.
Hey, Miss Carrie.
She says, miss you both. Hope to see you next
Aw.
week. Happy hooking.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Miss you too. We'll have to do our open sews, Carrie.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite part of quilting.
You know, they're so fun. I like those too. It's
Yep.
really a chance to get together in community and just work on whatever you're working on currently.
Right. I'm bending over too much. I'm sure I'm not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah, I know. For some reason, I'm not getting my angle quite set yet. I think I should be at a different angle, but I'm going to finish up this row and then
That sounds good.
readjust.
Sounds very good.
So you said at one point you were making little rug hook mats for sale. That's really cool.
I did in the early 2000s. That's right. In fact, I was remembering that when I was pulling my things out. I was selling them up in the center of town at the country store.
How cool.
And there was another woman there making dolls.
Oh, really?
Who knew? 12 years later.
Here you are, making the dollies.
I'd be interested in the dolls, right?
Yeah.
Thanks to you. So, and I always love to mix things up, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether it's quilting. Oh, I finished my quilt. This one.
That's gorgeous.
Or
Now you quilted that yourself on your machine.
I did, and do not look closely. It's terrible. But
It's beautiful. Don't let her kid you. It's gorgeous.
it's ready to be bound. I'm doing a very thin binding. And so that's done. But I'm so glad to be doing something different. And I think that we have that in common. You like to switch.
I do.
What is your latest passion?
So currently I am knitting. I'm knitting. I learned to knit as a child and have knit off and on throughout the years, but never quite as much as I was sewing or quilting or doing other things. But somehow I've just gotten the bug for knitting in a big way, and I finished some unfinished projects, and I think that really got me going. I finished a sweater.
That looked stunning on you. It had the
Thank you.
raglan sleeves, and it was the right cut.
And it had some lace work in it, some open work in it. And I just, fiber in any form. So I started knitting again, and then I discovered at Webb's, the big yarn store in Northampton,
Yes.
offers
Webb's, yep.
classes. And I was poking around the classes one day, and I found that they offer a whole program called a Master Knitter Certification Program. So you can take a course of study. It takes about 3 years to complete.
Oh, this is great.
There are 15 different classes in everything you ever wanted to know about knitting. So all forms of knitting, and essentially you're learning the skills that you need so that you can design anything
Anything.
in the end and
Well,
execute it.
I've seen the first couple of things you've made in the first couple of classes, and I would just, we're in for a treat, everyone. Sarah has brought with her what she's been working on, and I would love for you to show us what you've done so far.
Okay, so I took a class called Mittens and Socks,
Okay.
and essentially it was teaching you how to design your own mittens and socks from the measurements of your personal hand and foot. So when you finish, you have executed a mitten that's perfectly shaped to fit your hand. So they give you the basic instructions on, you should make some ribbing, however long you like it. I personally like my ribbing really long,
Yep.
so
Snow doesn't get
snow in there. When I was a kid, that was always where I got my frostbite. And you measure literally around your thumb at the base and how far it is from the base to the wrist bone, and you do all these intricate hand measurements, and then you construct your mitten based on those measurements, so that in the end it is perfectly
Like
fashioned.
a glove.
Yeah, I mean, this part never fit me right because I have, and now it hits just right there. Plenty of room in the top.
Isn't that beautiful?
So that was the first part of the class, and I decided I wanted to put a little color work in there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh yes, she did.
so, you know, when you're knitting, the gauge is very different when you're doing color work than when you're doing just one color. Because it pulls in a lot more
Sure.
when you're doing that. So you have to knit a swatch of this and knit a swatch of this and figure out what and it's more than you think. I mean, at first I'm like, oh, it won't be that much. I'm just going to knit it. And this really was pulling in. So I stopped and did the work and figured out I needed to add like 8 stitches.
Seriously. In order to have it be straight.
In order to have it be straight. Isn't that interesting?
Very.
So I learned a lot on the mitten, and I'm using this beautiful yarn from the Green Mountain Spinnery in Putney, Vermont.
Ooh.
It's all local Vermont yarns that are spun and dyed there.
They're beautiful. They're spun and dyed right there, huh?
And this, I haven't blocked those yet, but it gets very soft. I've done a couple of other swatches in that yarn. This is just a little cable swatch that I did.
That's a swatch?
Yes. So I wanted to try this pattern out and see if it might be something I would incorporate into a sweater at some point. So
beautiful.
I made the swatch, but you can feel how soft that yarn gets when you've.
So this has been blocked.
That's been blocked. Washed and blocked.
Beautiful.
And this again is the same yarn with a little leaf motif. That'll show up on camera. But a little
I know.
Leaf motif.
Maybe next week.
In this light over here. And
you think?
In your lighting.
Yes. There we go.
Try that. Anyway, so I've been really having fun playing around with knitting. So the sock class, the sock part of it, I have to show you my crazy socks because the idea was, again, you measure your foot, you measure your ankle, and you create a pair of socks
that fits you
perfectly. So because I have basic knitting skills, I wanted to go one step further, and I thought, well, I don't want to just do an ankle sock. I want to do a knee sock. And I want to do a knee sock that is not just ribbing in the top, because that's kind of easy to fit. I really want to do a sock with color work in stockinette stitch that will fit my leg, my girly calf, just perfectly. So I did all the stitches and all the work, and I ended up with these crazy shaped socks with their crazy color work.
Can people see that?
And I took them in and I started showing my teacher, and she looked at them and she's like, "What did you do?" She said, "I've never seen anything like that before."
You have to put these on.
So she goes, "They're never going to fit." And I said, "Yes, they are. Look." And I put it on, and look,
it fits perfectly.
It fits my leg perfectly. It fits my calf, and it fits the front, and it doesn't fall down, and they stay up. I mean, I walked around and I jumped up and down because they just have been.
Those are just
Aren't
amazing.
they crazy?
Now, you had to do this on a time limit. You had a time limit.
Yes.
How long did it take?
Oh, honey, I was knitting every day from morning till night because, again, you know, I decided I was going to do all this color work, which is more time-consuming, and the gauge is different between these stitches and these stitches and these stitches, and I mean, it was really a lot of math.
Did you do a swatch of each one?
There's a lot of math. Oh yeah, I did a little swatch that showed the pattern work and the regular stitches, so that I could check my gauge.
And then you figure out the math to get the number of stitches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty complicated.
Oh yeah.
But I was very pleased with the end result. I love them.
They are beautiful. Could you describe to me, and you were, so I've been prepped on this part. Could you describe how you got the pad of the foot to be a single color? This will be of interest to my mom who's out there, I think. and hopefully other knitters.
Yeah, so I was knitting along and I got down to turning the heel and coming into the top part of the foot. And I wanted to continue the pattern stitches down on the top of the foot, but not on the bottom of the foot, because that you want just a single layer. It doesn't feel very good on your foot to have that yarn that's been carried behind.
Exactly, it would get lumpy.
It gets lumpy, it gets too much. So I wanted just stockinette on the bottom of the foot. So the challenge was, how can I knit this, because you're knitting in the round, how can I knit it around without carrying that green yarn across the bottom of the foot?
Keep going, this is brilliant.
So I had, my stitches on double point needles, and essentially what I ended up doing was I started knitting at this edge on my double point needles in my green and my red and my green and my red and my green and my red till I got over to here. And then this edge stitch, I wrapped the stitch, if anybody knows what that means. If you're a knitter, wrapping a stitch means you take the next stitch in line and you move it over on the left-hand needle, and you wrap your yarn around the back of it and then move it back over on the right-hand needle. Okay. So essentially you're encasing that stitch in yarn so that you don't end up with a gap here in the sides.
Right.
Otherwise you would. And then I kept knitting just with the red around to where I started. And then again, I couldn't keep going in the round.
Here's the big trick.
Because my green thread's over here now.
Right.
So how do I get back over there?
Right.
Well, I wrapped the stitch on this side to seal up the edge.
Okay.
And then just knit back this way, picked up my green and knit all the way back around. This became my starting and ending point.
I see. So instead of going around and around and around and around and around.
I went around and stopped and wrapped and went backwards and stopped and wrapped and then forwards and stopped and wrapped. Yeah. Yeah. It was really
Beautiful.
kind of brilliant.
If we do say so ourselves.
Because it really was a challenge. And I learned so much on this. I just learned so much. Yeah.
I love it.
And I even Kitchenered my
You
toe
did.
in red.
Oh my gosh. Stop it.
Just to make it a little design element on the very tip of the toe. I made it
these
red
are
on the very
great.
tip.
Wow.
So I'm very excited. I'm signed up for a whole bunch more classes this next semester, and I'm going to be starting a raglan sweater. Again, fit to you from the top down. You're learning how to really design, given the basic elements, how to design a sweater.
Oh, well, thank you for showing us. I'd love to just continue to see your progress, because this is fun.
Thanks.
Wow.
Well, fiber in any form.
I know it. Don't we love it?
We love it.
Oh. So then for extra credit, you have done something else.
Well, I had 2 weeks off in between classes.
Some of us go to the beach. No, I'm kidding.
And so I'm in this mode,
Of
right?
course.
I'm just in this
You're
mode
learning.
of learning, and I'm all fired up. And so I had a book on, let me grab the book, on brioche knitting, if anybody knows what that is.
brioche.
So if you're a knitter, you may be familiar with that. If not, you might want to look it up, because it's pretty fabulous fabric. So when you knit in brioche, you end up with a fabric that is double-sided, it's double thickness, and it's right side on both sides. So it's like double knitting, except in double knitting you have two separate pieces. You end up with two separate pieces that are joined on the sides.
That's what I thought it was when you first told me.
Brioche knitting is two separate pieces that are joined all the way across. And so you end up with a positive image and a negative image on the other side. And you use contrasting yarns to be able to see the effect. So a light yarn and a dark yarn. And so I started a little scarf and taught myself how to brioche.
And I can't wait for you to show people this. This is just this is worthy of even
So here's
Yeah.
the
show people.
front of it, and here's the back of it. And it's done with a series of yarn overs, knits and purls and yarn overs, but it's very elastic. It's very, it's like ribbing in that it's very soft and very elastic. And this yarn is a wool, silk, cashmere blend, so it has a nice drape and hand to it.
It is just beautiful.
Thank you. It was a challenge for me to figure out. Like,
Was it?
I could read and understand, but to make my hands do it.
Really?
And the other thing is, if you make a mistake, which of course you're going to in the beginning,
Yes.
taking it out without having to take everything out was very challenging. That took me a while to learn how to back up. Because
Okay.
it's so interwoven that it's a real challenge to back up.
Seriously. Can you do any sort of a trick like you can when you're doing a repeat and put a colored yarn at a certain point?
No, a lifeline? Yeah,
Yes.
because I started using lifelines a lot.
Okay.
And I tried using a lifeline in this, and my lifeline really didn't work because when you're weaving the fabric, when you're knitting the fabric, you're making a pass on the right side with one color, then you're making a pass on the right side with another color. So they're interwoven in a way.
Oh.
You're doing yarn overs to weave them together. So it's not going through just one level,
see.
if you will.
Yep.
You've always got two levels going at the same time.
Wow.
And if you're doing just straight brioche, where this pattern has lots of increases and decreases to make the wave in the
Okay.
leafy pattern. Without those, it's easier to back up.
Okay.
If I had just straight rows of brioche, it would be easier.
Okay.
The complicated part, though, is when you've got a decrease or an increase happening. You know how that is even in regular knitting when you pull it out,
Yes.
trying to find it. So essentially, I have to back up to a place where there is no increase or decrease on that row,
I see.
and then I can recover. But it's challenging. So now I try really hard not to be.
When Steve comes into the room.
Oh my goodness. But you know, I literally spent 3 days doing nothing but knitting about 10 rows and then taking it out and starting over, and then knitting that same 10 rows again and take it out and start over.
Seriously?
I must have done that 10 times before I really finally got the rhythm of how to do it. Yeah. And I found it very challenging. Yeah. But to me, once I get that ingrained, then
Then you're good to go.
I'm good to go. Yeah.
Well, you certainly have been able to do that with any patterns that you've done.
Yeah, I am able to self-teach myself a lot, but I'll tell you, taking classes is there's little details that you can't get if
I
you're
agree.
self-taught.
I
right?
agree. Not to mention the fun of being with other people
Yes.
that are doing it.
I can get it to a certain level, but
Yep.
I love learning from people who have more experience.
Yep. And even after all these years, even though you've played with fiber all these years,
Mm-hmm.
other people who have played with fiber all these years always have new things that you can share with each other.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. It really is a community effort.
Yep.
So yeah, I've been taking a little break from sewing and had my head down with my knitting needles.
Well, I'm glad you came over to do some rug hooking.
Yeah, this is
nice.
This is wonderful. It's a nice, relaxing. Give my hands a bit of a rest.
Yes. I'm curious, since I haven't been hooking for, I guess since 12, so only 3 years. I was wondering if it was going to hurt my hand.
And are you finding that?
It's feeling a little, I can feel it more, but I think it's going to be fine.
Yeah. When I first started knitting again, I really felt it.
Did you?
Yeah.
I bet.
But that has worked itself out.
Good.
So I can knit pretty much all day without
Good.
any repercussions.
Okay, so.
That's my phone.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Do you need to get it?
No, it's
Okay, I'm going to see who's out there and we'll
Yeah.
take some calls.
great.
And then I want to hear about, in addition to knitting, what you've been doing on the fitness side to counteract it,
Yes.
which is great.
Who is out there?
Oh, Jean Birchman, you got her attention.
Hi, Jane.
She says, "Snakes." That's cool. And I bet she's talking about the
She
brioche.
says what?
Snakes.
Snakes.
Sneakies? Snakes?
Snakes, that's cool. I like that word. I don't know that word. Oh, you could do it, Jean. Definitely.
She could.
Yes.
She was doing Enterac.
Oh, and Tralac.
Oh, is that how you say it?
I
Enterac.
think so. Enterac.
Enter, exit. No.
That one's on my list too. That's where you have to pick up on the side and do the little diamonds and.
Exactly. Jean, come on FiberCast and show us what you made.
Oh, I'd love for you to show me how to do it.
Jean is a little busy though.
Yeah.
In addition to her 4 girls
Yes.
and the different stages they're at with college and school and work and everything, she's running the town's 300th anniversary program.
That is an unbelievably huge project.
It is. She's been doing it
The
for a year.
300th
I know.
anniversary of the town.
I
That's
know.
such a big deal.
It's huge. They've redone the fountain up in the center of town. She says they turn it on this Friday. I think they've done that.
How exciting.
I'm not going to do it at any justice at all, but they literally sent out a program to all residents at the beginning of the year with a series of activities that they have planned all year long.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And it's going to include fireworks for the first time in 30 years next week.
Fun.
Isn't that fun?
Yes, I love fireworks.
I do too. We do too. You should come.
Oh, I
You
should.
should come.
I am not from Hopkinton. I'm from the next town over. So thank you for inviting me.
Of course.
I'd love to come.
Good. I hope Jean. Good. Good, good, good. Let's see. Who else is out there? Oh, Sue Norton. Hi. Sue says, "Hi, Lynn. Was starting to get worried you were not going to be on. I'm here, Sue.
It was my fault. You can totally blame me.
No, it wasn't. It was not. It was me, once again.
It was technical difficulty.
Yep. Here is the fabric for my latest quilt. She says, I'm planning on it being all 2-inch squares, and the fabric is batik.
Oh,
Luscious.
that looks really, really yummy. Now you're talking my language. Ooh,
You do love
I
batiks.
love batiks. Mm.
That's hard to see. It's beautiful. Aw. Well, Sue, I'm glad you're out there. I hope you've had a good week. Oh, and Joni. Joni says she's here. She's glad to see the girls. She's on her iPad tonight.
Nice.
Joni had me on the big screen last week or the week after.
Oh my goodness, I put you on TV.
Oh, no, don't
Because
say that.
because we have the whatever FiOS something or other where we can get YouTube on there.
That's
we can get
wonderful.
Google Plus, and so you're just right on TV.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's pretty awesome.
Joni's getting ready for her vacation next week. She's going to Hawaii.
Oh, yay! I love Hawaii. Where are you going in Hawaii?
That's right.
I'd
You go
love
there
to know.
often, don't you?
I've been a few times. I have a brother that lives out there.
Okay.
So we've been a few times. We're due for another trip, Steve, if you're watching.
Don't you go and visit suppliers there and call it a business trip?
Well,
Oh,
actually,
is that a secret?
it's not a secret. We had one of our main China suppliers. We talked about going to see him in China, and then we realized that Hawaii is just about halfway between us and where he is in China. So we decided to meet in Hawaii and have a little business meeting there. So yeah,
That's great.
We did meet Charles there.
That's great. Well, Joni, we are drooling over your trip. So she says she's no sewing for her tonight, needless to say. She's getting ready. She's bringing some hand sewing with her to do on the plane. She says, love the show and tell.
Oh, thank you. Joni, if you get to Maui, there's a wonderful quilt shop on Maui called the Maui Quilt Shop. It is spectacular. There's one near the airport, but I wouldn't. That's more commercial. The one that's called Maui Quilt Shop is really lovely.
Okay, great tip. And Joyce is on.
Oh, hey, Joyce.
Joyce Long, not Morganelli.
Uh-huh.
Joyce says, I'm glad to catch you tonight and happy to meet your guest.
Oh, nice to meet you too.
Oh, she says, I'm working on a mug rug for a swap.
Oh.
I liked it so much, I'm going to make one for myself. And she says, have a great weekend, and she sent us a picture. Okay.
Oh, who's mug rug? I have a good friend in Florida, Julie Love, who has a quilt business, Stitches of Love, and she has some amazing little mug rugs and other quilts. Yeah, I'll give her a little plug. She does beautiful designs. It's Stitches of Love and Julie Love. You'll find her designs everywhere.
Stitches of Love, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is neat. This is her mug rug.
Oh, that's so cute.
Isn't that cute?
Oh, I like that a lot. Little teapot and the tea bag. Oh, that's adorable. Is that your own design? That's really cute.
Very neat, Joyce. Yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
And Stitches of Love is the other place to look for other mug rug designs.
She's got, she did a quilted wall hanging and lots of mug rugs. She does the laser cut kits.
Oh, okay.
So you get everything that is already fused and laser cut, all the pieces. She makes it really easy, and they're so charming. They make wonderful gifts. She did Spoolie Bird. Have you seen Spoolie Bird?
Yes.
Really cute designs. Yes.
Yes. That's, wow.
So check them out if you're looking, especially for holiday gifts. She does great designs for Halloween and Christmas and Thanksgiving.
So even the kits would be nice to give to fellow sewers.
Right, they would. But even to make gifts for the holidays.
That would be neat. We have several new subscribers I want to welcome. See the Truth Mom, welcome. Welcome Maureen Z. And welcome Heather on Skates.
Heather on Skates,
I love it.
Fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Your subscribership has really taken off.
People are finding us.
That's wonderful.
Yep, and it is all thanks to friends and family just spreading the word. So thank you, everyone. This could not be possible without you all doing that.
Wow. I think you're out there now, honey.
We are doing this, huh?
You are. You're an item. I hear the band.
Isn't that fun?
It is wonderful. And I hear the crickets.
Isn't that good too?
That's so awesome. Yeah.
This time of year.
We've had exceptional weather this summer.
Oh, hasn't it been nice?
It really has. We've had very few super hot, humid days. It's been.
Yep. So tell me what you have been doing. You've been getting outside a lot.
I have. I've been. I went to Florida to see my two sisters, Hi, Faith and Jean.
Hello there.
And Jean had started walking with a Fitbit. and she encouraged me to get a Fitbit. I resisted. You had gotten one, and we talked about it, and I said, oh, I don't want to do it. And when my sister Jean got one, I said, you're not going to talk me into it. I don't need one. I was quite resistant.
Yes.
But I decided I was going to go ahead and get one when I was down there. And I have to say that it really has encouraged me to walk, because I do either sit and sew, or sit and knit, or I'm on the computer. I'm not very active. And
You're like me too.
I have been finding in recent years, particularly, that that's really become an issue, because I'm not getting regular exercise. The things that I am doing
that we like to do, unfortunately.
So the Fitbit just really kind of informed me about how little I really was walking in my normal day. So I put the puppy on, and I said, okay, I'm going to make my 10,000 steps, because really I was finding that I was getting less than 1,000 steps on those days in my normal just walking around.
Isn't that, that's an eye-opener.
It was a big eye-opener. I mean, if I'm out running errands or something, fine, I might get, up to 5,000, but just my normal day. And I was really feeling the effects of it physically. So now I'm committed to at least getting my 10,000 a day. I get up in the morning, and we are lucky enough to live right on the border of Ashland State Park. So I can go out of my house and walk up the street, and I'm in the woods. So I have played around with, I've walked there for quite a number of years, but sort of stayed to the same area and the same trails. And then I encouraged my husband to get a Fitbit too, and Steve got one. So we started walking together, which was just really nice. It's nice to do it together. So I'll take my walk in the morning, and then to encourage him to walk, I'm walking in the evening. So I'm up to like 18,000 steps a day.
That's great.
Which is great.
Because it keeps your metabolism going. You get it going in the morning. You get it going, rejigger
I
it.
haven't lost a stinking pound.
Oh, that's not true.
But I feel a lot better.
Good.
But it was also interesting that one Saturday, I guess it was, we said, we haven't walked all the way around the reservoir in a long time. We sort of walk up and down, or we go up and down the dam. And so we said, let's just go all the way around. So we went all the way around, and somehow that just was an eye-opener for me, that it was like, okay, I can walk all the way around the lake and still feel okay. So I started really exploring and pushing myself to do more than what I was doing, and realizing that I'm capable of doing a lot more than I thought I was. So I found some great trails now that there's not a lot of roots, and they're flat, good, good walking. And so, I'm trying to do about 4 miles in the morning, and then another 4 in the evening.
That is great. Wow.
Well, we're getting ready for Dexter, so we have to be in shape, because my husband and I have decided that we're going to take the plunge and get a new puppy.
Oh, I love this.
And we've chosen miniature dachshund for the breed, and we have a wonderful breeder down in Uxbridge who's had a litter, and we're waiting for him to get old enough to come home with us, probably sometime in mid-October.
Oh, can you hardly wait?
I can't. I can hardly wait. Yeah. We had a Maltese for a great number of years, and he's been gone now for, let's see, 4 or 5 years. Yeah. So it's time. We're ready to take the plunge. Be pet owners again. So.
And a dachshund is such a manageable size.
And the mini's even better. They're so darn cute. So I have been, getting the house set up and getting little crates and some toys. Good. We're going to go visit him next week, and I'm going to bring a little toy and leave it with him so he can, have it, and it'll have the scent of his mom and his brothers and sisters. And then when we bring him home, he'll have something familiar.
Oh, sure.
That hopefully will help comfort him in those few days of separation.
Yes.
from his family.
That has to be quite the,
Oh, we'll spoil him to death.
I know.
He'll be okay.
Dogs do seem to get through it.
They do. They do.
Aw.
So yeah, that's pretty exciting for us. That's going to be a big.
Oh, do we get to make it clothes? Dexter.
Oh yeah, we get to make him clothes. I've already started knitting him a sweater, but I stopped because I thought, I really want to wait till I can size him and make sure I make it the right size. I don't want it not to fit properly. So
And this, people, that's pretty funny. Tell me how. So I learned something new from you just before we went on camera.
Did you know?
Yes, I always learn something new.
What was that?
About how to make a model of yourself.
Yeah.
Tell people how you make a model of your own form.
Well, this is on the internet too. At one point, I wanted to make a custom dress form.
Okay.
And there's a way to make, a sewing dress form.
Right, that
Using-
just looks like you.
Just literally is your shape. Not, you buy the thing and dial, have the dial, the numbers, and
Right.
whatever. But if you really want a custom shape, you can make one out of duct tape and t-shirts. And God bless him, my husband and I did this one time. You put on a big long t-shirt so it comes down. You buy a jumbo
Okay.
size so it comes way down on your
Okay.
legs. And then you have to have a partner help you because you literally then wrap duct tape tightly around your body.
The whole thing.
So you get a form.
Are you wearing garments? I mean undergarments? Yeah.
Yes,
You're wearing undergarments.
You're wearing undergarments
Okay.
because you want it to be like
You with a
like
bra
you
on.
with foundation.
Okay.
And then you put the t-shirt over because you don't want the tape to touch your skin.
Okay.
And then you wrap duct tape snugly all over you. It was hysterical. I still can't believe he did this. And then after you wrap yourself, you're mummified in duct tape, then you cut it open and take it off, and it's got the t-shirt stuck inside.
Right.
And then you use duct tape to seal it back up, and you can stuff it. So we got it all done, but then I was so creeped out by it. I have to say it was really creepy.
Because you're looking at your own
It's like
form.
really you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't use it. I got it done because I set it all up and I put it on a pole, and it just was too. It was too bizarre. It was too bizarre.
So, when Dexter comes home,
I am not going to be duct taping Dexter.
we want the sweater to fit.
I never made the connection. Oh, you're funny. Oh, the poor little puppy.
All right.
He's gonna have enough to deal with without duct tape. Oh dear. Yes, Mr. Dexter. I've been watching training videos.
Good.
I really want him to be well trained.
I'm sure between you and your sisters, I have no
Well, my
doubt.
sister Mary, she is the big dog breeder, dog trainer. She breeds corgis, Pembroke and Welsh Cardigan corgis.
Wow.
Wind Dancer corgis is her kennel.
Okay.
And yeah, she's amazing with dogs. So anything I need to know,
She'll help.
she's the one to go to.
Good.
Yeah. She's like the dog whisperer.
Really?
Yeah, she really is. She's amazing. You know how dogs respond to some people?
Yes, I do. And not to others.
And not to others, yes. She's one that they respond. She speaks their language.
Great.
Mm-hmm. Growing up, we used to walk down the country roads in Vermont. She would whistle to the birds in the trees, and they would whistle back. I mean,
Wow.
yeah, she's got the...
Yep. Well, that is incredibly exciting. I can't wait to meet Dexter.
I know. Oh. And my breeder puts up videos on her. She has a Facebook page.
Okay.
And so she's been posting pictures and
Oh,
videos
fun.
of the puppy litter. Oh, they're just so dog cute.
See, that's a new thing. 20 years ago, you couldn't do that.
Nope, not at all.
That is fun.
Mm-hmm. How you doing over there on your piece?
Well, I must say,
Not liking that. What's going on?
I'm filling it in,
Yes.
but I'm not going to get a whole side done. I don't
Well,
think.
you know, it's like anything else. It always takes longer.
It does. It does. But I'm loving it.
Yeah, me too. And truthfully, so 60 minutes, I probably have another 3, maybe 4 hours left on this, and that's it. So
Good.
not much at all.
Good.
You've inspired me
Oh.
to finish it.
So glad. Me too.
My problem is, though, whenever I'm working on something like this and thinking about finishing it,
Yeah.
I'm also conceiving of 10 other things that I want to start. How about you?
All the time. And all the time. It would be much more fun to start another new rug.
Than to finish. I know, right? Well, I finally figured out I've always had trouble finishing things.
Yes.
And I've tried to figure out for years, what is that?
Right.
You know, some people say, well, it's because you're not happy with the result.
Right.
Or, you know, what else?
That's what I had always heard, is that you could, if you never finished it, then you never had to face the fact that it wasn't perfect.
Right. And I don't feel that way about it.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like, okay, I'm at whatever level I'm at when I start. And I really feel like anything new that I learn, I have to be willing to be a kindergartner with my chunky crayon, trying to figure it out. It's like the brioche stitch. I had to sit there, and I invested almost 3 days with no product, but that was the learning process. That was going from the coloring with a chunky crayon to being able to use a pen.
Right.
Right? Is how I think about it. But for me, I realized finally what it is.
Do tell.
Well, I get so excited about learning something new. Like my brain and I just want to learn something new and challenge myself. And so once I get past the point of really understanding what I'm doing, when I get to that part where it's just execution and there's nothing more to figure out, that's when I lose interest.
That makes sense.
And it's not even that I lose interest, it's that something else has come along and says, oh, you should try this.
Figure me out. Exactly.
Yep. That's what happens. I get seduced by the next fiber. The next fiber going, ooh, try me. Yes, it's true. So I wonder how many of your viewers are rug hookers.
I know. Me too.
Or how many do, like we know that they do quilting, most of them. How many are knitters or?
A lot of them, I think, are knitters. We should do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should do. Oh, look, lots of people. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Sandra Cubans. Sandra
Hi,
has
Sandra.
been in the hospital.
Oh.
How are you?
Oh my goodness. What happened, Sandra?
Came into middle of show. Okay, so let's see. I'll read what she says.
Okay.
She says, I'm so glad she's written. I've been missing you, Sandra. She said she came into the middle of the show, but so glad to finally be back watching. Got out of the hospital and home last night at 6 p.m.
Oh, God bless you.
Weaker than she thought, so she's just watching and enjoying the rug hooking. She says she's never tried it.
Oh.
But it's beautiful. Sandra, you'd be able to do it in a heartbeat. I've never tried it. It's beautiful. Love the knitted scarf, too.
Oh, thank you.
Aw, have fun. Hug, Sandra in hot Mississippi.
Ooh, you're in Mississippi.
She always tells me the weather.
Oh, it's hot in Mississippi for sure.
Tells us the weather. Yep.
Yes.
Oh, I believe it was a gallbladder, but that's
oh,
Sandra's
honey,
business.
been there, yeah.
Really?
Glad that you're better. Glad that you're out and you're home and you're better. Oh yeah, I had that.
Mm.
You're going to feel a lot better soon.
Good. Oh, and Lorna's out there. Hi, Lorna. She says it's wonderful to see Sarah again.
Hi, Lorna.
You both are so talented. Thank
Oh,
you.
Thank you.
Mm. This one over here.
This one like that.
Your rugs are so beautiful. I envy your talent. Oh, that's nice. Thank you for sharing it with us. Have a great weekend.
Aw, thank you so much.
That's so nice. Oh, Joni's going to Maui.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
And she's taking a class at the quilt shop.
No way! That's wonderful. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to see what you do.
That's
Oh,
awesome. She
that
says,
is so awesome.
she says, I can't wait. It's 2 weeks, lots of fun.
Oh, wonderful. What class are you taking? Is it a Hawaiian quilt class?
Yeah, maybe.
Interesting.
Isn't that fun? I tell you, everyone out there, you are so talented and interesting.
Yes.
Excuse me.
It's so fun to hear what everybody's doing and see what they're doing.
Yes. So here's Joyce Long again about the mug rug.
Oh, great.
She says the mug rug was for a swap. For the swap, you had to pick a pattern from the Farm Girl Vintage book.
Oh, okay, sure.
And the person you swap with can give you colors they like, but you pick the pattern.
Oh, nice.
And she said her person that she was swapping with mentioned that she was a tea drinker, so I thought that was perfect.
That is. She's going to love it.
Yep.
Nice job.
Oh, so glad to hear folks are out there.
Ooh.
Happy 3-day weekend, by the way.
Oh, happy Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
Wow, all those hard-working people out there deserve a break.
Yes, they do.
Definitely. Thank you. I'm looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah. What are you doing this weekend?
Well, both the guys are home, which, you know, when they get to this age, it's not a common occurrence to have us all together.
Right.
So we planned a wonderful day up at Plum Island
Oh, how fun.
on Sunday. We're going to go up and just really spend the day on the island, do a little hiking, and do some bird watching.
Birds, yep.
Might do a little kayaking. It's such a lovely place. It's quiet. There's a cute little restaurant there. It's a seafood restaurant. It's just everything.
For folks who are watching from down in Perth, say Jen's in Perth, and we have folks up in Canada, and can you describe where Plum Island is?
So Plum Island is on the coast of Massachusetts. It's just off the town of Newburyport, so on the northern edge.
Big whaling town.
Big whaling
Shipping.
town. And Plum Island is a small island. They do have some inhabitants of the island at one end, and then the other end of the island is all state park and state land. So you've got beautiful hiking trails and bird watching. We love bird watching and photography, and there's a nice beach at the end. But it's just sort of one of those hidden gems, you know. The big draw is Newburyport, where all the shopping and, you know, restaurants and everything are. So Plum Island's kind of a nice, quiet little community.
Very fun. And I always thought it was a peninsula. But it's an island.
I think it is an island. Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Well, that will be fun.
Yeah, and the rest of the time we'll just spend some time together as a family and get some time outside and maybe do a little barbecue one day.
Yummy, yummy.
That's always fun.
It is fun. Do you know that it's 9:10?
No.
This night has flown.
I would not have guessed. Are you serious?
I'm totally serious.
Oh my goodness.
It's actually 13 past 9. So
Ooh, bonus time.
we started late,
We started late.
so we'll end a little bit late. But we should let people go.
We should.
Thank you.
So fun. Thank you for having me.
Please come back.
I
Please.
will.
Keep
It was
us
a lot of
posted.
fun.
Good. And all of you, thank you for joining us. FiberCast would not be what it is without you. Remember, be creative, and we will see you back here next Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Bye, everyone.